So if you're curious about how this double queen system I've been running this spring has panned out, there are some things I like about it, some things I don't like about it. I don't like that it was a lot of extra work. When you put a double screen and then you've got a hive on top of a hive, it's a lot of lifting to get down to the bottom to do inspections and just do anything. It's just a lot of extra work, and man, it was just a lot extra. But every one of my biggest hives is one of those double queen hives. I've got 6 supers on 3 in this yard. These are 3 of my biggest hives. And then I've got 5 supers on several in my other yard. And all of them are hives that were double queen hives. So I can't really argue too much with that. You know, if you look in these supers, last week they didn't do a lot because we had a lot of rain. But even in this 6th box, they're drawing wax, which is pretty amazing to be up that high drawing wax. And in the boxes below this, there's not a ton of empty space. I've been down in some of these already. I'm checkerboarding in the outer frames. In fact, we'll go down in this one. The bees haven't done much in the last week because it's been real rainy and cloudy. We've had a ton of rain in the last week. But they are working like mad today. See, they're drawing edge to edge here. That's not full yet. But if we stay in a decent nectar flow, they're going to fill that up. So as far as the nectar flow goes, most of these from probably the 4th down are full, and that's from the early spring through black locust and tulip poplar. Well, that's pretty much over now. It is over. Tulip poplar has been over for a week or 2, and we are now getting into, well, not much right now. We've got white clover blooming, but I am out of the white clover belt. White clover is really good up in Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, part of Kentucky, and places like that where you get into the glacier soil belts. I'm too far south for that. So we can have really good white clover flows in some years, but it's fairly rare. And I see it more in summer. After everything else is gone, Dutch white clover in people's yards is still blooming and bees will work it, but I question how much they really get from it. I think it's more of a trickle than a real flow. So it's considered a major in Tennessee, but I think it's pretty inconsistent. It's not something I depend on. So right now, we're sort of in between major flows. Tulip poplar's over, and we've got basswood coming up. And basswood can yield tremendously heavy, but it's very inconsistent and unpredictable. So, you know, who knows if we're going to get that or not. My planning around this is if I can get things put together in time, I would really like to go ahead and do a honey pull in early June and go ahead and get excluders put in above the thirds, put bee escapes in, everything that doesn't have brood and is capped or mostly capped, pull all that honey off and go ahead and extract, and then put empty supers back on hives that show a lot of potential. And then if we do get a basswood flow, that's great. I can capture as much of that as possible. And if we don't get a basswood flow, well, I've still accomplished something. I've got some early honey that I can go ahead and start selling because I've got tons of people asking for it. They will clean up my supers for me. But another big point is if I can get an excluder put in above this third and get the queen below it, even if she's got brood in this 4th or 5th, if I can get that excluder in now, or in early June, and I'm gonna do my major honey pull, or my final honey pull, in mid-July, well, any brood that is in here will be emerged, and I don't have to worry about that when I do a honey harvest. I don't have to do any sorting at all. So it makes sense to me. I think it'll be less work in the long run to go ahead and do an early pull and then a later pull and not have to deal with the brood. So we'll see. So pretty much what I'm doing today is just popping lids, looking in the top boxes and seeing if they need space. And if they do, I'll add a super. We have been on a minor flow. We've had persimmon and catalpa going. Bees really like both of those. I wish that we had more of those trees. I've also got to go through some nukes that I've got starting, and checkerboard in frames that are undrawn. I really need those nukes to get into a fully drawn out double medium before winter. So that's the big goal with them. And then I'm gonna dig into my hot hive today, which may not be a good idea because these first 4 that I've worked, none of them have been real happy with me. So if that hot hive is still hot, they're probably gonna be hot today. You can see there, they're working that all the way across. But definitely have got some work to go. So we'll just close them up. So this nuke has got 4 or 5 frames drawn. They're working on this one. We've got 3 frames left up top. So I will break into them. Go down to the bottom. See if we're drawn all the way across the bottom. Make sure they are queen right. Looks like we are. Merging brood, and she's putting eggs back into it. It's not a terrific pattern. Not super happy with that, but there's the queen right there, trying to hide from me. Maybe she'll get them into shape. Maybe. She's probably going to get replaced this year anyway. I'm going to do a little bit of light checkerboarding here. They're not drawing this outside edge of this frame. I'll drop this one into the interior slot, and they'll get that drawn out. Same with this one. In fact, I'll just turn that one around. All right, I want this box drawn, so I'm going to give them a gallon of syrup. Try to get them kick-started some. So this hive was a swarm that I placed here right at the beginning of May, and there were enough bees in here that they drew out 2 mediums pretty quickly. So I actually stuck a queen excluder in and gave them a box of foundation, and they moved up into that and started drawing that out. And I put a box of partial foundation on top of them. I had enough frames that I was able to scrape together that had some work already done on them, that I just stuck it on here because they showed so much potential. I don't know that they'll get this work done, especially through an excluder this late in the season, but I thought they were worth a chance. A lot of bees up here. It doesn't look like we're getting a whole lot of work done. Let's take a look in the next box. That looks better. I put a dot on this frame because that was the bait frame I brought up from the bottom. This has the potential to have some sugar syrup in it. So if I do get to harvest this box, I'll know to check that one pretty thoroughly. I don't think there's a lot of chance that we're going to get this whole box drawn. They might surprise me. I just don't think it's going to happen. Haven't been in them in a while. We've got white wax right here. That means I'm probably late on getting them a box, but they were very small. So I just let them have some time. Oh yeah, I'm late on them. One of the reasons I've decided I really dislike these black plastic frames, the bees don't draw them out as well. I don't know if the wax coating is as heavy on them. I know the spacing is a little more off, and they will cross comb it. They'll burr comb it. So I've been using this as a sort of a have to kind of deal. But it's not my preferred comb, or not my preferred foundation. So I'm actually going to pull some of that out and give them some different frames. Let's see here, where are my frames at? What do I need, like 3? Yeah. They're probably going to be ready for another box too. I really don't like those. Yeah, they're drawing that one. I've got to keep it in there. This little swarm's doing really good for how much feed I've put in it, which is not much. Yeah, she's doing pretty good. Emerging brood there. She's got everything filled up that she can. Showing some potential there. So we'll invest in these guys. Get my box. Oh boy. Better go get a drink of water before I get started on this one. Well guys, I've saved the worst for last. I've worked 16 hives in this yard. I've been stung a few times. Some of the big hives are getting a little defensive. They've got so much honey and so many bees. But this is my hot hive. And it's been long enough now that the forager population and the guard bee population should be turning over. So I'm going to jump into them and just test their temperament. I would love to know if they're queen right. I would have to get down far enough that they would definitely mount a defensive operation if they were going to. So we'll just see. A lot of bees up top. A lot of bees. Goodness. They may need a super today. We'll see. Let them know I'm coming here. A lot of bees on the inner cover. Looks like they're drawing almost all the way across here. This box is not full by any means. They seem to be performing pretty well. Definitely got some weight in that box. All right, this super is completely full. They're gonna make honey for sure. They've already made it. So this was another double queen hive. And when I split them, the old queen stayed in the bottom, and she recovered enough that she still swarmed. But I kept so many bees and brood in the top that when I recombined them, they've still got enough field force to make honey for me. Looks like they've got 2 supers on at least, and working on a 3rd. Beginning to get a lot of bees around me here. That's not really unexpected though. I'm gonna smell like I've been set on fire when I get home. But that's okay. That's a pretty sight. I'll show that to you guys. That's just cool. That is really cool. All right, they didn't like that. I'd still say that's better than it was, believe it or not. Well, we're starting to get into the brood nest here. Definitely queen right when you've got drone brood. All right, girls. All right, I'm putting you back. You have defended your territory for today. I'm done with you. Doggone bees, you gotta be crazy to be a beekeeper. I love them, but man, they're aggravating sometimes. All right, so what did I learn? Well, this hive's still a little hot. I've got one stinging me on the leg right now. They're going after the small camera for some reason today. I don't know why they're doing that. They normally don't. And get off of me. So this hive is still pretty warm, I would say. But at least this, I'd say this is justifiable because I was breaking honey loose. They got a big population. They've been cooped up for a week, and all my other hives were pretty warm today. So I'd say they're better. As far as queen right, yeah, they're queen right. There's drone brood in there, good population. They're drawing new wax. I've got 2 full supers of honey. That's probably 80 pounds on there. They're working on a 3rd, and this hive swarmed. So all in all, I would say, I don't know, I'd give myself maybe a C+ or a B- on this one. It's gonna produce. It's not ideal, but it's gonna produce. I still hope that they tame down though. They're definitely gonna get a new queen June, July, whenever I get into queen rearing. Guys, I appreciate you watching. I'll see you on the next one. Ah, goodness. This bee stung me right on the butt. That hurt. I don't mind it on the calves or the thigh. Right on the butt. Get off of me. Get off. I'm done with you. I'm done with you. All right now, you can just go on, go on. Calm, calm, everything's good. There's nectar out there, go get it. Don't mind me.